Yeah, good morning, everyone. We are just waiting for our chief guest and other panelists, and then we'll start. Good morning to one and all. Very warm welcome on behalf of GAD-TLC, which will be now changed into GAD-MMTTC. So I welcome each one of you in this lovely Sunday morning, and we'll soon start. So please be with us and do share the Zoom link to your other colleagues as well. And the webinar is live on YouTube also. So if we cross the limit, then definitely they can join on YouTube. And my team is there. All your queries, whether it is on Zoom or on YouTube, we will be taking all of them. So a very warm welcome to each one of you. And those who wish, please, you can put on your videos. We'll be happy to interact, although virtually. I can see Vrinda Kapoor. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, thank you. So another 5-6 minutes, we'll just wait, then we'll start. And let me tell you, there are going to be opportunities for many of you to be associated with us in the conduct of the massive, I will say, responsibility which is bestowed on us by MHRD and UGC. So we look forward that how you can all help us, especially those who have been with us from the last many years. And we'll seek your guidance. And in today's program also, we'll be sharing the forms that those who want to be as helping us as the organizing committee members or resource persons in whichever area, then we will be looking forward to that also from all of you. Shrutika and others, see all our panelists to be made as co-host. श्रुतिका, खालसा नाम से सर ने लॉगिन किया है, सर को वो होस्ट बना दो. And I can see Professor Anil Saspude sir. Good morning, sir. Very warm welcome. And please make sir also co-host.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir. Please, very warm welcome. And we have Professor Jaswinder Singh sir also, former chairman, principal of SCTV Khalsa College, sir.
Namaste, sir. Welcome. Namaste.
Please make Professor A.K. Bakshi sir also co-host. So, sir, we'll just wait for 2-3 minutes and then we'll start with you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right, sir. Thank you. Good morning, Professor Bakshi sir. Welcome. I can see, sir.
Good morning, everybody, and good morning, Professor Sahasrabudhe. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Ji. Good morning, Professor Bakshi.
Just will honor the time, although because Professor Surinder Kaur, I think she will be joining slightly late, possible. She is in some function. But then we'll start at 11, just 1 minute to go. And before that, let me extend warm welcome on behalf of Guru Angad Dev Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center to all of you. Especially we have Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, former chairman, AICT, and now chairman of National Council of Education, Technology and Forum. And we also have Professor A.K. Bakshi sir, who is former Vice Chancellor, PDM University, former Vice Chancellor, UPRTOU, and former Executive Director, Tertiary Education Commission, Mauritius. We also have Professor Jaswinder Singh sir. He is former principal, SCTB Khalsa College, and he has been a core member of our team. So just in the last month, he relinquished that position, but we are seeking his guidance and we will continue seeking his guidance further. And a very warm welcome to all my dear colleagues who have joined on Zoom as well as on YouTube channel. So with your permission, all of you, may I start, sir, formally?
Sure.
Please, sir. So let me just share my screen. I hope it is visible. So a very warm welcome in this national webinar on awareness of Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program on a very lovely morning, 22nd October 2023, Sunday. Here we are taking the national mission further. I welcome you on behalf of Guru Angad Dev Teaching Learning Center, GAD-TLC, a center of Ministry of Education, Government of India, under the prestigious Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Scheme, which we are now renaming, but we are keeping the same logo and calling it as Guru Angad Dev Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center. And now we will be having guidance from University Grants Commission, apart from Ministry of Education, obviously. And this entire scheme is Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program. I extend warm welcome on behalf of my own prestigious institution, Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, a constituent college of University of Delhi. So I welcome you on behalf of SCTB Khalsa College as well as University of Delhi. At GAD-TLC, now called as GAD-MMTTC, we are seeking blessings from Guru Angad Dev Ji, the second of the 10 Sikh Gurus. And this scheme has been centrally named in the honor of Bharat Ratna Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya ji. So taking all these blessings further, we proceed. I welcome each one of you with a virtual bouquet, flower bouquet, especially Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, Chairman of National Educational Technology Forum, that is NETF, former Chairman AICT, and Chairman of Expert Committee for the Capacity Building of Faculty Members under Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program, UGC, will be spearheading this entire mission to take it further, monitoring the progress and how the guidelines have to be worked out. So I welcome you, sir, please. I also welcome all the administrators, teachers, research scholars, and other participants from all over India who have joined us on Zoom and the YouTube platform. I will also like to welcome Professor A.K. Bakshi sir, Professor Jaswinder sir, and Professor Surinder Kaur in absentia. And also, I'm happy to share that we are seeking guidance from Professor Ved Prakash sir as mentor to take the center further. And here I am, Vimal Rar, coordinator of Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center at SCTP Khalsa College, University of Delhi. I'm happy to share in today's webinar, we have a wide range of teaching experience with us, many in the beginning stage, so they are perhaps the students, but then we have from 0 to 5 years, you can see 22.7%, 6 to 10 years again. So it's a wide combination, having more than all the type of the right from the beginning stage to the almost till the retirement stage of our career. And we have more of female colleagues here. So around 56.7% are female colleagues. I welcome each one of you in this webinar with a virtual bouquet of flowers. And I'll now request all of you to please join hands for taking the blessings of the God. GAD-TLC, as we started, we have state-of-art infrastructure for capacity building of our colleagues. And the center was inaugurated on 1st July 2016 by the then Honorable HRD Minister Smriti Zubin Irani ji. Few words from the inaugural event.
आज मैं विशेष रूप से बधाई देती हूँ प्रोफेसर बख्शी को, विमल जी को, जिन्होंने बहुत मेहनत करके इस सेंटर को जीवित रूप में आपके सामने प्रस्तुत किया। ये एक टीचर की ललक उसके उत्साह का उदाहरण है कि भारत सरकार ने दिसंबर 2014 को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के हाथों पंडित मदन मोहन मालवीय नेशनल मिशन को राष्ट्र के सामने प्रस्तुत किया। लेकिन उसमें हमने एक शर्त रखी कि जो भी इस प्रोजेक्ट से जुड़े वो स्वयं एक अनोखा टीचिंग लर्निंग का प्रस्ताव लेकर आए, और उस प्रस्ताव में जो अनोखा हो अथवा वो प्रस्ताव अगर शिक्षकों के माध्यम से आए तो विशेष रूप से हमारा सहयोग ऐसे प्रोत्साहित शिक्षकों को जो दूरगामी परिणाम देख सकते हैं, ऐसे शिक्षकों को समर्थन करने का हमारा प्रयास रहेगा। By teachers and my heart.
And I'm happy to share that throughout since 2016, we have not only implemented the programs, but we have also contributed in designing, especially this faculty induction program where the 12 modules, and I am thankful to Ministry of Education for putting my institution name on this very important document. And you can see all the NEP and these programs are actually being evolved along with the new editions which are in the NEP 2020, especially focusing on Indian knowledge system and values. Our journey started as a team. Not only these, but massive team of around 20 senior academicians and 2,000 academicians across the country when we worked for a project e-PG Pathshala under the banner of UGC. And at Center for E-Learning, we created the facilities of studio of our own and own technical team. And we successfully completed 89 courses of e-PG Pathshala project in these 6 subjects, out of which 42 MOOCs were prepared for SWAYAM platform, where this is the single largest contribution by a team at the national level. At PG level, when 63 PG MOOCs were hosted by UGC, out of that 42 contribution is from our single team. And we have realized while working on that our teachers lack these digital skills, not only in e-content development, but also using them for empowering their classroom teaching and assessment process. And our team has expertise into all these, that how the MOOCs can be developed, how online courses, and not only that, how in the blended learning, all these can be implemented with an emphasis on quality enhancement, just not for the sake of that we are integrating ICT, but how these tools will be enhancing the quality of education. My own model, which is Teachers E-Kit, where thousands of teachers are now contributing these 4-quadrant open educational resources. Again, through this, they are developing the resources which they can use and also other teachers can use for every class, how the blended learning has to be implemented. And since then, we have been working in nook and corner of our country, going to different places, doing collaborative events in the face-to-face mode. And then since April 2020, we have moved to online due to the corona pandemic. But our team, who was actually taking the technology into the classroom, we never realized that, yes, it can be so exponential jump, because during the corona, there was no other option. And I'm happy to share the statistics to all of you that from July 2016 till 2020, there were more than 9,000 participants that we could touch. But then from April 2020 till March 2023, it is 76,000, so more than 83. And now the number has even crossed 90,000. All this is possible because of the dynamic team that we are having in the leadership of Professor A.K. Bakshi sir, Professor Jaswinder sir, Professor Ved Prakash sir, Professor N.K. Chadda, Professor Bhanumurthy sir, many others. They have been contributing to take these centers further. We also have the National Resource Center of Chemistry, where we contributed in the ARPIC program for the 3 years, 2018, 19, and 20, starting with 75 NRCs. They were shortlisted into 42. And I'm happy to share the statistics again that out of the 42, our chemistry course has been rated in terms of the quality as well as the number of enrollments as on the top. And we had the honor of Smriti Irani ji visiting again in our college and felicitating the entire GAD TLC team. And now I will request Professor Surinder Kaur Walia, ma'am, I think she will be joining somewhat late, who is the officiating principal. But rather, I will request our worthy former principal, Professor Jaswinder Singh sir, who is a well-known economist, and he had been instrumental in this entire journey from 2013 when we started the Center for E-Learning. Sir was there, and without his support, we could not take these massive projects further. So welcome you, sir, and please give the welcome address on behalf of our center.
Thank you, Professor Vimal. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, please, sir.
Let me at the beginning welcome Professor Anil Saharsabuddhe, who has been, in the forefront of technology development and its uses in the educational institutions. We have known Professor Saharsabuddhe for a very long time, and we have been working under various programs of the Ministry of Education and other programs which were jointly organized by the AICTE and the University Grants Commission. I also take this opportunity to welcome our mentor, Professor A.K. Bakshi, the former Vice Chancellor of many universities. In fact, he has been helping us in a number of ways and also leading the entire team for adoption and its users and its spreading of the various aspects of these training programs to the faculty and to many students as well. Professor Vimal, who has been the coordinator and who has been in the center of everything, I also take this opportunity to welcome her on this very special program. All the participants who have joined us in this mission of capacity building for the teachers under the National Education Policy 2020. Recently, as Vimal has explained, that we started this journey with the very, very moderate mission of developing the e-content, which was later on, expanded to develop the MOOCs for the SWAM portal. And our team also, gave various models, the technical platforms, how these can be, incorporated at the national level. And then also, when the National Resource Center for Chemistry was given to us, and we developed the content under the ARPIT programs, and many teachers joined and they have benefited from this. Now, in the meantime, the National Education Policy Framework was being evolved, and there were many areas which involved a thorough investigation and also the complete analysis of what is happening in the higher education system, along with the school education, of course. And I think this is the first document which is consistent with transformation beginning right from the primary stage, right up to the higher education stage. And I think this is for the first time the integration between the school education and the higher education has been recognized. And under this mission, we, as Dr. Vimal has explained, that we already were doing some work in terms of training the teachers in the use of ICT technology. So we also were given the special responsibility to train the teachers that how to use the technology during the COVID period. And we contributed in this field in a very, very small way. But yes, we never knew that volume will grow so large, and around 83,000 teachers have been made part of this mission. Now, you see, when we are developing the e-content, hosting it at various platforms, it has to synergize with the larger objectives of the National Education Policy 2020. And I think the Malviya mission, which has been specifically given this responsibility of training the teachers at every level, at every layer, beginning from the professors to the associate professors, assistant professors, and then the research scholars, and building, the teamwork for this is very, very voluminous. And I'm sure, we will do our level best under this program. We are also grateful to the University Grants Commission, the Ministry of Education, for shortlisting Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College as one of the centers under this program, Malviya Mission on Training of the Teachers program. And we also look forward to, listen to many teachers who are being trained as master trainers. We will also volunteer Professor Sarsa Budde. Some of us will be, if you can make us part of that master training, so that, it can be spread at a much faster speed. And also, it should be made a part of the faculty induction programs, so that the teachers who are willing to join or who are intending to join the higher education program, they should understand what are our national objectives, how we are supposed to participate in all these activities and raise the standard of living. raise the standard of teaching and the education in the country. We are looking forward to become Vishwa Guru, and I'm sure the national education policy provides us an opportunity, all of us, the students, the teachers, the administrators, to be part of this mission and do something. As you know, we have seen that during the last few years, during the last 7 to 8 years, the whole world has changed its perception about India. And education has to play a very major role, and especially the higher education where we are participating, we are the stakeholders. I will not take much time. I would once again express my gratitude on behalf of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College, on behalf of our management, Delhi Sikh Gurudwara Management Committee, and also on behalf of the University of Delhi, that Professor Saharsa Budhe is starting the discussion with us and motivating the teachers and helping us to understand this large mission. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you once.
Thank you so much, sir, for always supporting this national endeavor, which could not have been seen this stage had it not been with your support in your long tenure as principals. I congratulate to you for completing your tenure on 30th, and we look forward for your guidance further in this center. You will be always there with us. So with these words, let me take you further, and I'm sure my colleagues here must be excited to know what is this all new thing that we are talking about. Let me share, there are now 111 Malviya Mission Teacher Training Centers at national level, and they are culmination of 66 HRDCs of UGC and 45 the earlier Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya National Mission on Teachers and Teaching Centers like us. And GAD-TLC was selected as one of these 45 PMMT centers and awarded Malviya Mission Center to conduct NEP trainings for 15 lakh higher education teachers, which all these centers will be collectively doing. So that's how now this center, your own center, all of you have been giving your warmth and affection in the various programs. I'm happy to share, sir, there are many colleagues who have attended more than 30 of our events in the last 3 years. So it's like that whenever the event is happening there, so they are not joining for the promotion. And the same appeal I will do for all. This is a change which is happening in higher education and school education in our country. So we all have to be participating to be aware, participating to take responsibilities as helping us as coordinators, as resource persons, and we look forward to your all support. And not only that, take this and help your school education system also around you. So this particular mission, if we talk about redesigning the higher education ecosystem as envisaged by NEP 2020, requires strengthening of the role of faculty. So it is actually implementation in a very effective way of NEP 2020. NEP 2020 also envisions that pedagogy becomes learner-centered with mechanisms for continuous comprehensive evaluation and assessment of learners. So there is a need of capacity building of faculty across all levels of higher education as the foremost thrust area, with diverse schemes and programs being geared towards it. So this is now a combination. So all the Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center will be collectively doing. So some are coming from UGC's HRDCs being renamed, and some coming from the PMMTTC scheme. The Ministry of Education has sought strengthening of the synergy and integration between HRDCs and PMMT centers in order to meet the objectives of NEP 2020, keeping in view the optimal utilization of infrastructure, human and financial resources, and renaming and popularizing the entire capacity building effort as Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program. And if we look at this new phase of the scheme, also aims to implement the recommendation of NEP, namely to improve the quality of teaching at all levels and in all domains, to focus on equity and inclusion in higher education and promote the online and digital education, ensure equitable use of technology, promote Indian culture and languages, develop basic infrastructure and facilities, create awareness about gender sensitization, include vocational education in the curriculum, develop leadership and management skills, create a pool of mentors and pedagogic experts, and promote research and multidisciplinary education, to name a few. And the vision is to build competencies in the faculty for better teaching, learning, and research by exposing them to Indian values, updating the knowledge, skills, and aligning their teaching, learning, and research with the needs of society and NEP 2020. So with this vision, I am happy to share, maybe all of you must be already aware, but Union Minister of Education, Honorable Dharmendra Pradhanji, introduced this Malviya Mission Teacher Training Program at Kaushal Bhavan in New Delhi to enhance education standards in India on 5th September 2023. And if we look at how immediately the strategy of implementation, these 111 MMTTCs will be conducting various programs in a structured manner. And the first goes, which is now I will request it should be attended by each and every one of you, irrespective whether you are in your entry stage or at a senior stage as a professor. So this is NEP orientation and sensitization program, which will be conducted in online mode. Apart from this, all these programs, faculty induction programs, short-term programs, refresher programs of 1 week and 2 weeks duration, which are required for your CAS, will be now reshaped in a proper way. So if we talk about this particular NEP orientation and sensitization program, 15 lakh teachers are aimed to be trained in the next 3 years, and there are 8 modules. So this will be a 8 days online session, but we'll put it in a flexible mode in 2 weeks duration. So the 8 modules are holistic and multidisciplinary education, Indian knowledge systems, academic leadership, governance and management, higher education and society, research and development, skill development, student diversity and inclusive education, and ICT. So around this will be giving awareness and sensitization. And once you understand that, okay, these are the areas where I have to improve more, the detailed short-term and the long-term programs will be helping you, and will be providing you the rich bouquet, and there we'll be taking all of your help. And I'm happy to announce in this on this very auspicious day where we are all gathered on the Sunday morning with various festivals on the ground and taking blessings of all the gods. So the first orientation program from Guru Angad Dev Center we will be conducting, and starting on 13th November. So we'll be putting it in a flexible mode. More details will be launching a poster where all of you can enroll. Coming to now our esteemed chief guest of this day, who is expert in this area, and he's actually evolving this at Ministry of Education and UGC level. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, although needs no introduction, but very briefly, I will like to introduce her. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe is the present chairman of National Education Technology Forum, chairman of Executive Council, National Assessment and Accreditation Council, which is NAAC, and also chairman of National Board of Accreditation, that is NBA. He was earlier chairman of AICT from July 2015 till September 2022, where even I had the honor of working in the guidance of Sir. Professor Sahasrabudhe graduated from BVB College of Engineering and Technology, Hubli, under Karnataka University, with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and was a gold medalist. Therefore, he obtained a master's degree and doctorate from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Prior to joining College of Engineering, Pune, as director on deputation, he was a member of faculty at IIT Guwahati since its inception and held several responsibilities, including head of the department, chairman library committee, chairman JE, dean academic affairs, deputy director, to name a few. Prior to that, he was also lecturer and assistant professor at NERIST Itanagar, He served as the director of COEP from 2005 to 2015, and he also held various other responsibilities as chairman of the Empowered Basic Science Research Committee of the UGC, chairman BOG, to name a few. And I think you all can understand with all these positions, there's so many responsibilities which he had been doing successfully, and many awards to his. So I welcome you, sir, and we are looking forward to your words of wisdom and guidance in this, and motivating all other colleagues who have joined. Over to you, sir. Is he? Make sir again co-host. Can you unmute, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yes. I'm again back. I think there's some connectivity issue.
So
So-
over to you, sir. Yeah, we are looking forward to your words of wisdom and guidance, and motivating all of us to take it further. Thank you.
So, namaskar. Thank you very much, Madam Vimal Raj. Good morning to you all. Professor A.K. Bakshi, Professor Jashwinder Singh, Professor Sarita Passy. I'm sure Professor Surinder Kaur also will be joining soon. Panelists, participants, were all eager to attend this particular very important program on a very auspicious day, that is Durga Ashtami Day. And we are all between festivals, and still on a Sunday morning, such an enthusiasm I have never seen before. So that is where Madam Professor Vimal Raj, DU University's Khalsa College, has created that impression that something which is happening has to be attended. I think that's what it makes it happen. Madam, as far as your own contribution, I'm aware, as far as chemistry courses are concerned, one of the most popular courses on SWAYAM, and also on EPG earlier. And the manner in which, whether it is blended learning, whether it is in terms of using Samarth that you have been advocating, has been making great impact. I therefore congratulate you, the Malviya Mission Center at your place, which is in the name of none other than Guru Angad Dev, is very, very important. You have already given a brief idea about the evolution of these MMTTPs. We had HRDC centers of the UGC, and also Madan Mohan Malviya centers, which were initiated by the Ministry of Education, then MHRD. Both were running parallelly similar type of activities. And to bring in cohesion, in order to bring in the uniformity in terms of the activities, this new mission called Malviya Mission for Teacher Training Program was initiated by the Ministry of Education and was launched on the 5th September this year by the Honorable Ministers. And as a follow-up of that, 111 centers have been selected from across the country, 66 of them being the HRDCs, and remaining being from what we had earlier called as Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Mission, National Mission on Teachers and Teaching. So both are now amalgamated into one single entity, and a committee has been also established in order to see how we can implement various teacher training programs in these 111 institutions. And Madam is also one of the members, Dr. M.K. Sridhar, was the member of the National Committee on the setting up of the National Education Policy. They are all members of this, and we have been working on that. But coming to the most important aspect which we are taking up today is about creating awareness. First, awareness is about the National Education Policy itself. We have a large strength of faculty in the higher education sector. There are 15 lakh plus teachers. They are all in colleges, universities of all variety, deemed universities, central universities, state universities, deemed universities, and affiliated colleges. Such a huge number. Many a times we wonder whether there are so many students in some of the countries, and we have so many faculty members in higher education sector. And if you count the school education teachers, it crosses 1 crore mark. That is 10 million. Such a huge education system. and a very informative, very, very reformative, very, very interesting, transformative policy which has come into being in 2020. If we have to really make it happen, it is only through the teachers that we can implement the policy. Otherwise, policy will remain in the almiras, as pointed out by none other than Honorable Prime Minister. When we launched the policy, within 8 days, he had said this: policy is meant for implementation. Policy is meant for creating a roadmap. Policy is creating what is to be done and how is it to be done. And therefore, what is the policy all about? How is the policy to be implemented? Why are we to implement? What are the features and how do we take it forward to make our nation as one of the most developed nations of the world? And that is why the policy always talks about empowering entire citizenry of the country. The first paragraph itself says, how do we take our entire population, that is indirectly our ethos of access, equity, how do we take it forward through quality, affordability, and accountability, is what is stated in the National Education Policy. And how do we make this realization to our faculty members? Because faculty are the ones who are in this teaching profession, which we often call as noble profession. Maybe sometimes salaries are more or less compared to other professions, but the kind of respect that the teachers earn in their whole lifetime is just amazing. No, I remember many a times some of those senior teachers, our teachers, when we meet on a railway station or an airport, we immediately go and prostrate. And many of them wonder, what is this happening? This fellow is a senior professor, vice chancellor. He is doing pranam to a very senior citizen. What is this happening? And similarly to us also, many students of our past, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, whose faces we don't recognize today, but they come on the railway station and sir, हम आपका 85 में student थे. तो कितना खुशी की बात होती है. तो this profession is a real noble profession. And how we are creating generations after generations of students, that means generations after generations of citizens. And if you have to create good citizens for good governance of the country, the role of the teachers is prominent, very important. And that's why in the National Education Policy, a lot of emphasis is laid on teacher training. And what best would be to create such 111 MMTTCs, and each one of them having some kind of a training program where master trainers will come and train the trainers. Trainers in turn will train these 15 lakh odd teachers who are there in the higher education sector. And that is why this is a very important initiative which has been undertaken. And I'm thankful to Guru Angad Dev Center, Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center at the Khalsa College for taking up this initiative and for having invited me. Now let us come to few of the features of the National Education Policy. Although most of the audience here in this particular program possibly will be fully aware of this, but it is always better to sometimes reiterate. Thereby, we consolidate the views that are expressed in the National Education Policy. First of all, the most important part is how do we give holistic education to our students? When we use the word holistic, it has all elements embedded into it. And I recollect the famous saying of Swami Vivekananda, who always said, each individual is born divine. There is something special in each individual. It is the teacher who can detect it, unearth it, and make it blossom in a manner that the contribution of that individual for the nationhood will become excellent. To the society, it becomes excellent. So for excelling, detecting that quality in an individual is the most important part. And therefore, holistic does not mean only academic. It could be in terms of sports. It could be in terms of culture. It could be in terms of the values. All of that together is called holistic. And we also talk about multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary is also a very important word which has come into being in the last couple of decades, because anything which we see in our lives touches different disciplines. It is not unidiscipline, monodiscipline. Something which is related with economics has also something to do with sociology or psychology. Some product which is developed in engineering has its own impact on the society. some kind of a medical new invention that happens will have effect on the society in terms of healthcare. Research that is conducted in agriculture will have a lot of emphasis on the way our entire food cycle is going to be created, or we are making our country free from hunger. All of these are some way or other related with, we often today talk about 17 sustainable development goals of the United Nations, but all of these goals are some way or the other related with SDG 4, the education. Education for all, education which is holistic, education which is of very high quality is very, very significant. And that is what has been picked up by the national education policy as a major thread. Along with that, when we talk about university education, there are two types of universities which we clearly, distinctly see in our country. Some of them are highly research oriented, maybe something like Indian Institute of Science or some IITs. So multidisciplinary research universities is one type, one segment. Whereas there are a huge number of them which are mainly teaching oriented. Therefore, we don't describe them as teaching universities, but teaching intensive universities. They also can do research, and research universities also have a role to do teaching. It is not that research universities simply keep doing research. They have to also do teaching. Maybe teaching of teachers. That is also a very important, significant thing which will percolate down to the teaching universities for creating excellent quality citizens in our country. So multidisciplinary universities, teaching universities, research universities are all very significant. Along with that, there is a concept of multiple entry and multiple exit, which has come for the first time, and all degree programs to be of 4 years duration. Including Bachelor of Arts, Commerce, Science, which used to be 3-year program, now is stated to take care of education in 4-year domain, like engineering or like many other programs. And this has brought in additional burden on some of the universities on one side for creating more faculty, more classrooms. But at the same time, through the multiple entry and exit, some of the students who join need not complete all 4 years, but can exit at the end of 1 year or 2 years with a certificate or a diploma, and with 3 years as a degree. But if they want to pursue post-graduation degree, they must undertake a 2-year post-graduation program. On the other hand, a student who has done 4-year undergraduate program with honors can do a post-graduation program only in 1 year. And after 4-year undergraduate program of honors degree, one can straight away do PhD. I think there are a huge number of permutations and combinations which have been allowed in terms of multiple entry, multiple exit, as well as what I said, 3-year program, 2-year diploma program, 1-year program, and all of that. And this brings in several challenges for our curriculum design, for taking care of our students, their needs, in order to understand what is really the best for them. And also at the end of any time when a student is leaving, that student should become useful. And useful in the sense either employable or entrepreneurial, and therefore how the curriculum can be designed in a manner that during even exit, some kind of bridge courses are given to a student, thereby his employability or her employability is ensured. And similarly, a student who enters back into the system after 1 or 2 years, because someone might have exited because of financial compulsions at home or some disturbance at family level due to the diseases or some kind of a problem. And such students, when they settle down and want to come back, there must be a re-entry possibility which did not exist earlier. Our all norms and regulations earlier used to say a 3-year program has to be completed in 5 years, 4-year program in 6 years, and in very exceptional circumstances, an extra 1 year was granted by the Academic Council or the Senate. But now we are opening up little more by way of multiple entry, multiple exit. But in order to keep track of all of this, maybe I will come back again in little detail, but we have already created what is known as Academic Bank of Credits, in which each student will have a unique ID called APAR ID, Automated Permanent Academic Account Registry. And I'm very happy that out of about 4 crore higher education students in the country, half of them, 2 crore, have already registered on the APAR. They all have a unique APAR ID. Now, this APAR ID is going to be linked with the Academic Bank of Credits. We all know the precursor to Academic Bank of Credits was the National Academic Depository, NAD, under which many universities had already become members. In NAD, the wholesome certificate used to be placed. That means a student who has completed BA, BSc, BCom, BE, MBBS would be having that transcript and what we call degree certificate stationed in this particular platform. But now we are going down to the level of credits. A course of 3 credits, a course of 4 credits, a course of 2 credits earned not only from one's own university, but also from some other university, either due to the exchange programs. A student may go to another university as an exchange program student to not only within our country, but even abroad. Those credits earned in the other university can be recorded, placed in the Academic Bank of Credits. The courses which are done through the MOOC platform, the SWAYAM, our indigenous MOOC platform, where thousands of courses are available, and without going outside to another university, by being in the own university, in the flexible timings, student can learn from the best of the teachers available in the country on the SWAYAM. The course on economics may be taken from Delhi School of Economics, could be taken from some university in Mumbai, or it could be from Bangalore, or from an IIT, or any other best possible university's faculty, and can be recorded in the Academic Bank of Credits. And these credits earned then are exchangeable, whether in your own university to make use of it for your transcript and getting the degree after completing the minimum requirements, or this credit is also useful to showcase when you go out for job, when you go out for higher studies, that we have done all of this, which is available in a very robust way, truthful way, in an integrated way in the Academic Bank of Credits. And so this is very, very important. This all is nothing but use of technology in education in some way or the other. But we are also talking about use of technology in education through the forum which I am representing right now, which is called National Educational Technology Forum, that how our learning can become more interesting. One of the mechanisms is to use what is today known popularly AVGC, animation. We have video as well as visual effects. We have graphics. We have got gamification. We have comics. All of this we combine together as an AVGC and create content which would be very exciting for students to learn, create inquisitiveness, want to learn more and more. And if this is possible, not only through AVGC, but also the new and emerging technologies like augmented reality, virtual reality, extended reality, metaverse, and all variety of simulations and animations that are possible. Many times during pandemic, the question was asked, how do we continue teaching learning process when colleges are all closed, the universities are closed? But out of all the countries of the world, it is only one country which did not deter, but continued education through online medium was Bharat. Many of the countries, even the most advanced ones, had to give away and drop 1 year of the students, but we did not. We might have been delayed by a couple of months, 3 months, 4 months in different universities, but no student lost an academic year. And teaching continued. Of course, there was a learning loss. We also are aware of it. There were psychological problems for some of the students, and therefore how counseling will bring them back. All of these issues are also addressed through the use of technology as well as heart-to-heart, mind-to-mind touching to all these students. But the education in the form of digital means, which we already started well before the pandemic, was in terms of whether it is e-PG Pathshala, whether it is SWAYAM platform, whether the LMS as well as ERP system created by Delhi University called Samarth, or AICT's internship portal, where huge number of students were given internship, or National Educational Alliance for Technology, where a lot of language learning to communication skill learning to advanced programming language learning to high-end technology learning was possible through the digital means. I think today the world is very small in terms of we can get the best possible education from the remotest corner of the world to the remotest possible another corner of the world. And that the strength of technology has to be utilized. But while doing all of this, many a times we forget that not everything can be done through technology. Man-to-man connect, human-to-human touch is very important in order to instill values. And that's why the best possible future way would be the blended learning. You know, some part of the course can be done in an online mode, some course will be done in a physical mode. We bring students together, there will be a lot of interaction which happens. We may do some jokes, we may play with each other, games, artistic features of that. We also have activities such as cultural programs, where we really bring out holistic nature of a human being, the psychological feelings of the human being to the fore, and then create good individuals. And that's why on one side, use of technology is very important in order to reach out to those who are unreached much easier at a much lower cost. But on the other side, bringing them back to the college and university and learning together, teacher-student connect, the eye contact is all very, very important in our learning process. The policy also supports in a big way for innovation and research. We all are aware of the establishment of National Research Foundation, exactly the same way as National Educational Technology Forum was established. There is National Research Foundation where large funding is given by the government for large-scale projects, for creating solutions for the challenges faced by not only India, but the whole world, be it in terms of water, be it for the pollution, be it for sustainability, be it for transportation. All of these facets, agriculture, economy, is all going to be having some kind of an impact for the society, and funding is a very important part, and this National Research Foundation does this. Another very important feature of the national education policy is multilingualism. We already had, right from beginning, 3-language formula, but very little was done on that. Many states, only 2 languages being learned at original school level. But now the school education also, instead of 10+2, is changed to 5+3 plus 3 plus 4. And the early 5 years are supposed to be all in mother tongue. Thereby, there is no shock to the candidate. Whatever they learn in their home from the mother, right from young age of a few months to few years, that is 2 to 3 years, with the parents, with the brother, sister, siblings, cousins, relatives, friends, the language spoken at home. If the same language is continued immediately, the learning becomes very smooth and fast. And one more thing, at that age, number of languages can be learned very easily by the children. Forget about 3-language formula. I will tell you that many children whose parents get transferred at that young age of between 3-4 years to 10 to 12 years, those 8 to 9 years, whoever has gone around different states, those children have learned 5 to 6 languages absolutely seamlessly without any effort. That is because children are not afraid of speaking out, and they listen and then start talking. Maybe they are doing some grammatical mistakes, doesn't matter, but in the meanwhile, they pick up the language and understand. So the national education policy, with its emphasis on multilingualism, not only from school education, but talks about providing higher education also in the mother tongue. Therefore, we at AICT, 3-4 years back, we devised that engineering education is also possible. The first batch of students who joined engineering in Marathi, in Telugu, in Tamil, in some of the other languages, Hindi, they are all completing their degree next year. And it is possible, but we found a difficulty that most of these students require books in those languages, and therefore we created books, translated the existing books, created new books which were written in that, and some of the best books were translated using artificial intelligence-based translation tool. Now we have called this tool itself as Anuvadini. Very soon this will be available, accessible to anyone to put in their document or even research paper of 20 pages, 30 pages, get it translated in the language of your choice, read it, understand it, and go ahead. I think this is what is multilingualism, for which promotion has been happening. Our teachers need to know all about it. And therefore, when we say about NEP features, it is not only what is there in NEP, what is there and why is it there, and how it is being used or has to be used is also very important. We all know that we want to increase our gross enrollment ratio to 50% very soon, in about next 10 to 12 years. For that, a lot of efforts are required in terms of teaching in mother tongue, as well as reaching out to the remote. India's BharatNet project, which is now creating digital infrastructure, the fiber connectivity to the nooks and corners and all the villages. Out of 6 lakh villages, we have already touched more than 2.5 lakh villages. In the next 2 years, if we reach out to all the 3.5 remaining villages, entire country is connected by fiber optic connectivity, and you can have classes of the best in class at your doorsteps and at most reasonable or almost free of cost. I think that empowerment is also taking place. That will increase GR automatically. Internships and apprenticeship embedded programs is also important. We often say the graduates are not employable because many of them have theoretical knowledge, but they don't know where to apply, how to apply, and why to apply. And this application of knowledge is what is very crucial. And for that, our students have to go to real life and observe, experience, and learn from there. And that's why internships become important. Our internship portal, which is created, has more than 1.5 crore registered students. More than 30 lakh students have already got internship, but it is still far away from the requirement. We have 1.5 crore requirement, 30 lakh means 1:5. We want more industries, more startups, more social organizations, NGOs to provide internship to our students. If that happens, in our curriculum of 4 years, students can spend at least 6 months in an industry, in a village, in a startup, in some NGO, and learn something different from what is taught in the college. And that makes your knowledge to be applied in the real life. And that is very, very important. We also talk about skilling and entrepreneurship. Skilling is important. Mere theoretical knowledge is not enough. Therefore, hands-on skills are important. And they are also provided right from school, 6th standard onwards. And every student who is in higher education, depending on the field of interest, must learn the skills of that particular domain. Then the employability automatically rise, and the industry will not complain that they are not employable. They will all be 100% employable. Not only that they are employable, they will become entrepreneurial. They may create startups and give jobs to others. All of these features are available in the National Education Policy, and teachers have to learn them. Policy also talks about the education has to be rooted in Indian values. I think this is what is the most important part talked about in the education policy right now. We had forgotten our ancient past. Nalanda and Takshila, the oldest universities, residential universities of the world. When the world did not know what is Vidyalaya, University, India had created the best in class, and more than 10,000 students used to study from all over the world in Nalanda, with a student-faculty ratio of 1:5, 2,000 teachers. So we must know that we were great educationist country. We had great science and technology, be it physics, be it chemistry, be it mathematics, be it biological sciences, be it agricultural sciences, be it water resource management, be it civil engineering, be it architecture. The beautiful temples, which are more than 1,000 years old, stand a testimony to this. They are not affected by neither the storms which come during those seashores, wherever they are. They are not affected by the earthquakes. They stand erect, whereas 100-year-old buildings collapse. So the kind of knowledge that we had, we must be proud of that. So rooted in Indian values. Values is also in terms of ethical values. We remember not only various Upanishads, Vedas, where a lot of value system is embedded. And therefore, our students need to know our history properly. We need to be proud of our heritage, but don't only be proud. You have to take it forward. And therefore, learning lessons from Indian knowledge systems, how we can do research, how we can innovate further and provide solutions even to the modern world is also very important. So solutions to the modern world and the ancient past, connecting the two is very important. So when we talk about Indian knowledge system, it is not only ancient, it is not only old, but it is connecting to the present and the future. The future lies here. And many significant things are now. With only two examples, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, when he said that we should follow International Day of Yoga on 21st of June, the whole world accepted. That means our knowledge of yoga, our knowledge of Ayurveda has started being accepted. About a few years back, just 3 years back, a Japanese scientist got Nobel Prize for intermittent fasting. What is new about it? Now in Durgashtami is happening in the Navaratri. Many people do upvasa, one day, full day upvas or half or whatever, or some people all 9 days. And this is what is significantly now tested biologically, medicinally, and then they say longevity of the life of the individual increases. I think all of this is rooted in our Indian values. We must be proud of that. We should learn that. Concern for environment is part of us. When we talk about SDG goals and sustainability, if you look at no other civilization in the world has ethos where it is not just human beings who are respected, but animals are respected and prayed for. Whether it is a bull, whether it is a cow, whether it is even a snake, whether it is a chuha, a rat, we pray as God. We have sustainability, diversity, biodiversity respected in all forms. We also pray plants, not only animals. We also pray non-living so-called entities like rivers and mountains. So I think which other country in the world, which other civilization in the world has concern for environment, ecology, equity, and also for respect for women? All goddesses, powerful goddesses are all women. So I think diversity in all forms we are respecting, and therefore all of this is to be learned. And while doing so, the mantra of access, equity, equality cannot be lost. And we also need to create academic leadership. So these programs, which are going to be run by the MMTTPs, will not only in the beginning mandatorily will ask all 15 lakh teachers to go through what we call as understanding the national education policy, its nuances, and implement them. But also support system in terms of continuous development of the faculty in the emerging areas of technology. There will be programs which are of 4 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week duration, which will engage in order that you will be up to date in the knowledge. And in turn, you will take that to the students. Thereby, students are not having any gap in skills. That is what is envisaged through these MMTTPs. I'm sure Madam Vimal Rar and all others who are associated with all of this, they will do a wonderful job in the coming months and years. The next years is going to be a very important call. In our Amrut Kal of next 25 years before we celebrate centenary, the next 3 years are going to be the most crucial years because they will be the foundation laying steps for the next 25 years. And all those young students who are now in the youthful 10, 15, 20 years, they will be running the whole country, and we need to create very good citizens. And that is the role which Malviya Mission Teaching Training Center is to do. And all the very best for all the teachers, the gurus, and then only we will become Vishwa Guru. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. I think you have really given an overview of the entire NEP 2020 policy, which is our visionary document. But then you rightly said that we all have to now work for implementation. And this way, this is a structured way that taking every teacher along, because what I personally feel is the change will be brought only when it is there in each and every classroom. And for that, we have to take all of our colleagues who are in the best of the best profession, as you rightly mentioned, We are creating all other professions. And you rightly said that we are creating the citizens of country, entire society. So in that spirit, I think the NEP, which really emphasizes on the quality education, which will empower the students not only to become competent professional, but also good Indian citizen and good human being overall. And what I think in Corona, you also mentioned, we also have seen the good examples as well as ugly examples coming from the society, from the so-called educated. What are we doing? So I think we have to be really looking at all these, and that's where the Indian knowledge system, the values, ethics, taking technology, leadership, everything. So the 8 modules, they are rightly giving the overview of all, but then it all depends on all of us to take each of these in detail and start implementing. If we have to really solve the problems at the global level, we should start making small efforts in our classroom to give them a problem from their local level, that they start applying whatever theories and all. So in that, I think you have covered almost things. I'll not go into repetition, but thank you so much for giving that vision. And you are really motivated, because what I also personally feel is, to implement anything, the first thing, even in our classroom, the information is there, the knowledge is there, but we have to make them aware and we have to make them motivated. So I think that spark you have initiated, and that is what was the purpose of today's webinar. And the more motivation we will be now having from our next speaker, Professor A.K. Bakshi sir. And before he does that, let me again make one announcement, that this is the form. Please, I'll request all my dear colleagues who are passionate and I'll use the word mad like us, to contribute in this national endeavor. So please be associated with GAD-MMTTC for the conduct of our upcoming events. This is the QR code. We will like to expand our team, and there's a detailed questionnaire and all. Please fill up. We will get back to you in the different capacities. And now inviting Professor A.K. Bakshi sir, who is the founder, Vice Chancellor, PDM University, Bahadurgarh, former Vice Chancellor, UPRTOU, Allahabad, former Executive Director, Tertiary Education Commission, Mauritius. And he also had been, let me add to Professor Sahitrapati sir, that at Delhi University at ILLL and CPDHE, he was the director in 2008 to 10. And that's the way there I got associated with him. And I had also some e-learning corporate exposure. So as a team, we evolved Delhi University's e-labs, e-lessons and all. And then we got the opportunity to got the EPG. So it's a long journey in the guidance of Professor A.K. Bakshi sir. And we always look forward to your kind words of wisdom, sir. So over to you, please.
Thank you very much, Professor Vimal, for your very kind words of introduction. Esteemed dignitaries present on the occasion, including Professor Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe, former Chairman AICTE, Professor Jaswinder Singh, Professor Vimal Rao, and last but not the least, all the participating teachers from all over the country. It's indeed a great pleasure and a privilege to be a part of this very important event, which is aiming at creating awareness about Malviya mission teacher training programs. I think a lot has already been said by Professor Sahasrabudhe and Professor Jaswinder Singh, and of course, Professor Vimal Rao. And there is nothing much more to add to that. But still, I would like to share some of my thoughts on this occasion. First of all, I would like to congratulate the entire GAD-TLC team on their selection as the Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center of the country. I think it's a very, very big achievement. And we as a team have been working in this direction since 2016. As a matter of fact, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya mission scheme was launched in 2014. And since very beginning, we have been working in this direction, basically on empowering teachers. And as Professor Vimal pointed out, we have trained close to 1 lakh teachers so far. And it's mainly because of our efforts that we have got this special center out of so many Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya centers. So congratulations to the entire GAD-TLC team, especially to Professor Jaswinder Singh, Professor Vimal Rar, and all others who have been associated with it. Now coming to the second point which I want to say is, under this Malviya Mission Teacher Training Centers, the main aim is to empower teachers through various programs which have already been mentioned. Because the focus is on enhancing the quality of the teachers. Because I feel that the quality of an educational system cannot exceed the quality of its teachers. So if we want to enhance the quality of an educational system, we must raise the competence level of our teachers. And therefore, all these programs basically have the meaning. Because once teachers are empowered, they will then in turn empower their students. But my worry sometimes is that, we are not able to translate our vision into reality at the grassroots level. We empower teachers, no doubt. They know what changes have to be done. They know. But whether all these things are translated into action at the grassroots level in the classroom, that becomes a big, big question. Because, one thing we have to keep it in mind, that education is relevant only when it is able to serve the needs of the changing society. And in the 21st century, world is changing very, very fast. So many changes are taking place, and mainly because of the technological advancements. And because of these technological advancements, many challenges have come before us. Artificial intelligence and other technologies, they have created a problem also in a way. Because, many of our routine jobs, which did not require any critical thinking or which are of predictable nature, they are being taken over by artificial intelligence, automation, or robotics. So this is one big challenge. Then, we need people with new skills, because skills are going to become very, very important. Then world is witnessing Industrial Revolution 4. And in some parts of the world, we are having Industrial Revolution 5. And each industrial revolution creates an education system which addresses its needs. So are we able to change our education system to meet the needs of these industrial revolutions? Then, as Professor Anil Sasir Budhe also pointed out, the focus is on increasing the gross enrollment ratio. So more and more students would be graduating in the years to come. But traditional jobs are becoming less. So there is creating a big, big competition, as very few traditional jobs, but many takers. So there will be a huge competition. So like that, there are so many challenges. The question is, are we really able to change ourselves to meet these challenges? Because the role of the teachers is in imparting education. Whether they are really able to impart the education which the society needs. And in any education system, I personally feel three things are very important. What do we teach? How do we teach? And how do we assess our students? This is where we come in contact with the students. And if the change is to be brought about, it needs to be brought at this level. Now, what do we teach? Here comes your curriculum. And curriculum is total learning experience in any course. Knowledge in all disciplines is growing very, very fast. There was a time when human knowledge was getting doubled in 150 years. But now human knowledge is getting doubled in almost 73 days. So you can very well imagine how soon our knowledge is getting outdated. So the question is, are we able to revise our syllabi, keeping in view with this change? We should not be oblivious of this fact that what we know in any discipline is merely a drop, and what we do not know is an ocean. So much is happening all over the world. So whether all that is reflected in our curriculum or not, that's going to be a very big challenge. I remember a few years back, Professor C.N.R. Rao mentioned that 90% of Indian universities have outdated curriculum. So how can you bring out the modern, competent individual with the outdated curriculum? So we need to revise our curriculum more frequently, make it skill-oriented, let it be led by industry, because industries understand the skills which they need. So that, one of the reasons for underemployment of our students is that there is a mismatch between the skills which our students acquire and the skills which industries require. There is no connection. That is why we are suffering. So this is a very important point which we also have to consider. Second point which becomes most important is, how do we transact the curriculum? The teaching learning, the pedagogies. We still continue to teach by the teacher-centric talk and chalk method, which is outdated. We have very, very large classrooms, sometimes 100 students in a class. So in such a scenario, teacher is just delivering and the students are merely passive listeners. What will they learn? Learning is not the product of teaching. Learning is the product of the activity of the learners. We need to engage learners. And once students are engaged, then they will never forget what they have learned. That is why the new education policy talks about experiential learning and fostering, critical thinking and creativity, etc. So the question is, we need to change our pedagogies. We need to follow learner-centric pedagogy. We need to follow pedagogies like problem-based learning, project-based learning, experiential learning, collaborative learning, flipped classroom model. These are going to be the pedagogies of the future. Now, my question is, and my concern is, we teachers know all these methods, no doubt. And our program will also tell them these methods. But the question is, are they actually implementing it in the classroom or not? There's the problem. Because education will lose its meaning if it's not delivered in the right way to the students. So we have to come down to that basic level and deliver it to our students. For example, even experiential learning, you can adopt it in a classroom also, provided you design your lectures in a very proper way. What are the objectives of each lecture? What are the activities which they can do? It needs a lot of work. So what I mean is, we need to do this also. Only because, new education policy is a vision document of the government of India, which expresses the aspirations of the nation. But our aim is to translate this vision into reality. And that can be done only through teachers. Teachers need to be made aware, but then they also need to be told that this is to be implemented in the classroom. Only then the things will change. Our examination, our teaching still focuses on examination, rote learning, and scoring high marks. That's not the purpose of education. Education is not the learning of the facts. It is the training of the mind to think. Students should be told not what to think, but how to think. That will prepare them for the future. And this is one reason why we are not able to do very well in research, keeping in view our large population. Because students have never been trained for research work. They have never been guided for research work. That is also one reason which I was mentioning other day. No Indian scientist working in India has been able to get a Nobel Prize after 1930, when C.V. Raman got it in physics. Most of them have been the non-resident Indians. And then the very few people are coming to research. There is a report that we have about 250 scientists or researchers per million of the population, which is very low. It has something to do with our teaching. We need to create interest. Even in sciences, for example, you look, after 12th class, the best students either go to engineering or to medicine. Very few come to pure sciences, I can see. So these changes have to be brought. And the third thing which I was mentioning was assessment. New education policy also says we need to transform the culture of assessment, because assessment drives learning. The way you will assess your students will learn that way. We still have multiple choice questions. No doubt they are very convenient and so many advantages, but then they have many serious limitations. You can't test the analytical skills of a person, logical ability, writing skills, so many problems with these multiple choice questions which are becoming so common. If you look at the revised Bloom's taxonomy, in cognitive domain, there are 6 levels. Our assessment should test all the 6 levels of learning, starting from knowledge, understanding, application, up to creativity. And it cannot be done by one single examination tool. We have to have a blend of so many tools adopted. If we adopt that assessment, then students will also learn accordingly. And that will be a real perceptible change in the education system. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have so many teachers attending this program, nearly close to 500. You have to understand, as Professor Sahab also pointed out, you are the builder of the nation. The future of the country is built in the classroom. We have to keep the thing in mind that the era of rote learning is over. Textbook content is now getting replaced by digital content. Everything is moving online. And in future, I won't be surprised if self-learning becomes the norm. People will learn on their own. At present, still students depend on teachers for the source of knowledge. But the way sources are increasing, we have SWIME platform, we have YouTube videos, you have so many sources, multiple sources of knowledge. So maybe in future, we will have students will think, okay, we can learn on our own. We are matured enough to learn on our own. So things are changing. And in such a scenario, the roles of the teachers are also going to change. For example, if students are enrolled in e-learning or MOOCs or through SWIME, if they have some queries, who will answer? It is the teacher. So your role has to be like a mentor to advise them what to do. You must also learn how to manage a virtual classroom or a discussion forum. You also have to be very proficient in the development of e-content. After all, who is developing MOOCs? Who is developing e-content? You, the teachers only. So you have to understand that role. I sometimes feel bad, that many of us are trying to become tech savvy. No doubt, that is the need of the hour. But in the process, they have lost touch with their own subject. They have not read about their own subject for a long time. That's not. First is your subject, then is the tech, and then that combination can do wonders. So you have to understand that. So ladies and gentlemen, I just move to a different point because a lot has already been said about NEP 2020. It has been mentioned. We are starting with so many programs, and Malviya mission teacher training centers are the new centers which will ultimately aim at empowering 15 lakh teachers in higher education. And these 15 lakh teachers will ultimately decide the fate of 4 crore students who are enrolled in higher education. There is a very, very big responsibility on our shoulders. So just don't think should not end with your empowerment. You in turn have to empower your students also. Only then the mission will be achieved. I hope you understand what I really want to say, and whatsoever you understand, you implement it in the classroom and see what are the challenges which are coming. Thank you very much, and I wish this center a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And it is definitely pertinent to the theme, because you mentioned how the quality improvement can be done in each and every classroom when you said that what to teach, and how to assess. And this I will also request Professor Saisruddin that when we interact in various training programs, we find that we as teachers, we try to go into these new ways of teaching, learning, the flipped classroom and all. But ultimately, the university systems, they'll say, no, you have to assess in the same 2 hours or 3 hours type of paper type of examination. So ultimately, the assessments, then they have to be linked with, and this is, I think, something which has been rightly highlighted by you, sir. And also, very important thing that you mentioned, that how the subject, that is the domain knowledge, along with technology and along with appropriate pedagogies, all these 3 things are important. So it's not that only technology will do wonder, but we have to become tech savvy to groom our students, which are 21st century learners, who have these AI tools, the chat GPT and all the information is handy, but then how to use that information and how to also introduce the activities which are aligned with the assessment. That is very important. And that is where the outcome-based education is also providing emphasis. But again, there it is like more of a clerical type of mapping which is being done. But as teachers, we have to now introspect that in every course, every subject, what are those meaningful activities which will actually be implementing when we say environment, sustainability, ethics, values. As a chemistry teacher, it's not that I am having the responsibility of only teaching chemistry and environment paper becomes a separate paper because of the Supreme Court ruling. It is my responsibility that I integrate all these values when I'm conducting practicals with them, whether they are showing the honesty in recording the values, the manipulation is not happening, and all the labs, how they are wasting the chemicals and throwing in the environment. Is that so? Small efforts, but a major change. And every drop, I'm sure all of you will be contributing a drop, but an ocean of change has to be evolved. And I'm very, very hopeful that all my colleagues will be doing their best, and we are all there together. And we have such guidance from eminent personalities like Professor Shastri sir, many others in UGC, MHRD, Professor A.K. Bakshi sir, Professor Jaswinder sir. So with these words, I'm thankful to both of you, especially here. I think Professor Jaswinder Singh sir has logged out. And now we are open for any queries from all our colleagues. So please, I'll request my team to make a provision of unmuting everyone, and you can unmute. And I'm also requesting my team to post me the questions from the YouTube so that we can ask our very expert panelists here to be answering whatever queries you have. Yes, please. Do mention your questions in the chat, or otherwise you can unmute and ask the questions, please. Or if you have any observations to be added. You can raise your hands. Yes, Dr. Rajesh, sir, please, you can unmute.
Good morning, one and all. Good morning, Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe sir, Bakshi sir, and the principal sir of the GAD-TLC. So I have a question. Actually, basically, I am from Maharashtra. In the last month, on 26th of September, I read one news in Daily Lokmat, that is a newspaper, that government of Maharashtra is thinking to close almost 15,000 school where the student strength is less than 20. So basically, all these are government school. On one side, under NEP, we are talking about the gross enrollment ratio that should reach to 50% by, I think, 2035. So don't you think, this is my question to Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe sir, don't you think this is the controversy and government is not taking much seriously about NEP 2020?
Well, see, gross enrollment ratio of 50% is for higher education. For school education, we want 100%, no doubt about it. And therefore, how do we get those students who are in the remote places also get education is likely in two ways. One is formal brick and mortar schools, which are already there and to be continued. And secondly, how we can also make online education reach them where teachers are not available, where building is not available, directly to their homes. So both mechanisms will have to be used for this particular purpose. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for your inputs. Can I have some other question? Someone else?
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm Kanchan Joshi from
yeah.
Pune. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes. Please introduce yourself and go ahead.
Yes, I'm Kanchan Joshi from Pune. I have completed my PhD and I have 15 years teaching experience. So my question is for again Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe sir. Their lecture is very informative and obviously the lecture gives us a very good idea about the NEP, implementation of NEP. So on that lecture, I have just quoted one chart. In Maharashtra, from last 3 or 4 months, recruitment will start. And in this recruitment, there is a huge amount of economical issues were rises. And one thing I have to note here that most of the college, they avoid the experienced teachers. And they are taken they are given order to the teachers who are the persons who is maybe their relative or some other they have a relation like that. So can you suggest any idea how to stop such type of recruitment inside the senior college? Because in Maharashtra there are so many teachers, they are working from 20 years, they have a long experience, 15 years experience are there, and all these teachers, they get suffer. And in this way, we don't have money to pay Samstha that huge amount of money. So this is a question to Dr. Anil Sahasrabudhe sir. He can solve this problem because nowadays the problem is going on to increase because inside the Maharashtra, most of the colleges, these are semi-government colleges. These are not government colleges like in Pune, Ferguson College, Wadia College, Garwari College. These are what is Sanstha's college. So this is a very big issue. They are arising nowadays. Thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry, the connection is going out and in. Whether I'm audible?
Yes, sir. I think she is concerned about the process of recruitment happening and the salary incentives being provided.
Yeah, I think this is a challenge faced in many states. We have been, as regulatory bodies, both as AICTE and UGC, continuously write to state governments, to also write to colleges and universities that teachers are to be respected and their salaries have to be paid as per the 6th pay, 7th pay, whatever we are following. State may be lagging in implementation of the latest pay commission, but at least the previous one, which they have accepted, they should continue to pay both in the private and the government colleges. There is a flip side to that also. Along with that, the government colleges certainly will get the funding from the state, but for the private colleges, they depend on the fees of the students. And if the fee is exorbitantly increased in order to pay salary, also becomes a problem. And that's why we all have to work with the industry, with the philanthropists, how we can empower those students who cannot pay high fee to get scholarships And on the other side, those who can afford should be able to pay the fees. And only then teacher's salary can be given on time and as per the pay commission.
Sorry, sir. This is not the issue. Sorry, sir. This is not the issue. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, Dr.
Mr. Budde, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, sir, this is not a problem. What I'm trying to say that nowadays the government recruitment were started in the Maharashtra from January 2023. But there are a semi-government college which are under the sansthas. Various sansthas are there. You know that various colleges are there, and they are recruiting the professors inside the permanent post, which are paying there are so many there are corruption. That word I want to use here. There is a corruption. So how can you stop these things?
No, I think
Corruption in recruitment, sir.
No. I think I slightly differ from your this thing. If a sanstha, which is a sort of a private organization, if they want to succeed, if they want to be good, if they want to appear in the accredited institutions, if they want to become ranked institution under, say, National Institutional Ranking Framework, they are bound and they will also recruit good quality teachers. So there's no question of corruption there. If they are indulging in a practice whereby substandard quality teachers they're appointing, who are the losers? They are the losers. So I think sometimes some news item comes here and there. I'm not denying that everywhere everything will be very good, but certainly it is in their own interest that they will and they should and they are probably doing a good recruitment. Otherwise, their own institution name is going to be damaged.
But they don't care about it, sir.
No, how can they not care? No, they will not.
No,
madam, I beg to differ, because if you today the whole world is so proactive on social media. I remember one of the other colleges in Pune. I don't want to mention the name, but as soon as several things of that institute came out in the public domain on the social media platforms, the court also took notice. The regulatory bodies took notice, and the college was asked to be closed. So I think stakeholders are proactive. They keep listening to the social media. Their ears and eyes are open. And such institutions who are not good, who don't respect faculty, will die their own death.
Yes, sir. You are whatever you are thinking is very.
Dr. Kanchan, I will request. Let's go to the next question, please.
Okay. Thank you.
I will just add, it is all of our responses. So let's not put it mentioned to a single or any other case. I think if there is a fault in our society, which is being now percolated through this, we are missing on values and ethics, whether it is on the administrative parts or as teachers or as general citizens of our country. So I think NEP 2020 is rightly focusing. So the results will not be immediate, but I'm sure all of us will have to work in this direction. Let me request Dr. Devendra Singh to be asking the next question, please.
Very good morning to all of you, and I am very thankful to Professor Anil sir for their informative speech. Madam, my question is that with reference to NHEQF, and presently I am working as director Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya Center for Vocational Education and Skill Development at Soban Singh Jinnah University, Almora, Uttarakhand. Sir, we are running more than 15 skill development.
I think you have to unmute Dr. Devendra. Yes, yeah, please.
EQF, that can we start level 4.5 and level 5 courses as add-on courses with major and minor subject as per NEP 2020. If we do so can we give them separately the degrees or the diplomas from our center, or we have to include them in our ABC?
No, I think skill domain courses of level 3, 4, if they are approved by the National Council for Vocational Education and Training, that is NCVET, you can give certificates. But if you want to offer degrees, naturally,
Yeah.
that should be under the college. The Senate or the Academic Council of the university have to approve those of level 3, 4, 5, whatever, and accordingly give those certificates or degrees, rather degrees. But for giving individual certificates at some level 3, some course, if they are approved as per the mandate of the NCVET, the outcomes that are desired to be achieved out of that are met. Actually, there is no problem in giving certificates. See, there is a difference between degree awarding power is only to the universities, not for others. Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir, one more thing is there, sir. Hello.
Yeah, please. Can you be quick?
Actually, sir, my question is that along with BA, BSc, BCom, can we just provide this opportunity to our students that they take add-on courses of vocational education and skill development? Because
absolutely.
already
No. I think I already told that additional add-on courses you can certainly offer. They can be taken if the agency which is certifying that is a authorized agency. Those credits also can be transferred into the academic bank of credits.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Let me go to the next question. I think Pramod Sethi, sir, or yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. My name is Pramod Kumar Sethi. I am working in PGDAV College, University of Delhi. Sir, don't you think there is a mismatch about expenditure budget on GDP and then NAP? Because this is very difficult to understand how much GDP budget expenditure on the education and NAP implications. And the second question is that the private university is more competent to the giving the patents in spite of government universities. Please throw some lights on it.
No, I didn't understand your patent part. You are saying that private universities are supporting filing of patents, whereas government institutes are not. Is it that what you are saying?
Yes, sir. How can this imbalance between two universities?
No, I think the filing of patent has nothing to do with private or government. The patent which is going to be filed has to be a novel idea, which is not existing earlier. Only then patent is granted. So in private universities, they might be engaging some consultants, etc., to help them out. In government institutions, probably there are agencies which are not in the government institute per se, but agencies from Department of Science and Technology, NRDC, they support filing of patents by anyone for that matter. And therefore, from the government college, you must go and talk to these agencies. You can have awareness program arranged in your college and be able to file the patents. As far as expenditure on education is concerned, there has been a demand right from inception of the independence that it should be 6% of the GDP. But gradually, from about 2.5%, 3% to we have reached certainly 4% plus. But there are indirect ways in which a lot of input for education keeps coming in, which is not necessarily from the state exchequer, but from the philanthropists, from the alumni. If you add it all together, it will certainly rise to about 5%. Still, we will be required to do more efforts in order to catch up and then bring it to the level of 6%. No doubt about it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And please, I will request to be sticking on the theme of our webinar for the questions, because otherwise higher education is such a vast area that we will be deviating from that. Can I ask Pramod Sethi, please, to be asking the next question? And just
sorry, ma'am, I'm already asked.
Okay, please, you remove your hand. Dr. G.M. Nasira.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Good noon, Anil ji and Vimla ji. It is a good program. It's a very informative and mainly towards a new higher education policy. Sir, Anil ji, I would like to clarify certain things which are now existing in the state government of Tamil Nadu in many of the government colleges. So one thing, when we start coming for the new education policy, when we form a board of studies to frame the syllabus or the curriculum of any particular subject concern, what I feel is personally, like, many of the subject concerned are not comfortable with taking new papers or subjects for the students because they feel inferior that we are not thorough with the subject, or we are not thorough with the ICT, we are not thorough with the smart classrooms. So what they feel is, for that purpose alone, many they say, let's go with the old curriculum or the old syllabus or the old subject. So what happens here in the classroom is, when I would like to go with the old type of teaching, my student is ready here for going for the smart classroom, or he wanted all the SWAYAM courses to be updated. He is well versed in advance than me. So I feel a very challenging, and I feel that I should be confident before I go for any subject class. So that is one problem existing over here. And the second one is, here projects, many of the projects, when we apply for the grants, the projects can be given based on the profile of an individual. Rather, we are not getting a grant for project where we apply. It is based on some institution or the department profile, whatever it is. And the third one is, sir, I would like to speak something about the PG courses, which are very much lagging over here. When a department is ready to have a comfortable teaching towards a PG course, which is a latest one, the government here, they say that maybe this is an AICT program. For example, for computer application, when I ask for a master of computer application, they say it is an AICT related. Is it possible for you, or like, can we go for the other science courses which is affiliated to the state university? So what I personally feel is, though we have applied for 6 to 7 years for a master of computer application course, though we have a master of science course, what I feel is, I, as an individual, I am prepared to take. I would like to engage the students in a government college. They are well interested. They are placed in a big IT companies. I would like to run a master of computer application course, where as an individual, I'm very initiative to take the course. And the last one is like, as a professor was asking, we are very much interested in having add-on courses, like maybe a machine learning and artificial intelligence, or an IoT, or all these latest courses. Few of our students are interested. I don't know how to go about in getting those courses in running in a government college. Thank you, sir.
You asked many questions in one stroke.
Achha.
So anyway, whatever I recollect, I will answer.
Please, sir.
Starting from the last one, for giving add-on courses, I think there is no requirement from anyone. You can do it. There are many free courses available. Many of them under our portal called, as I said, National Educational Alliance for Technology of the AICTE. We have a lot of free courses, and there are some courses which have small fee which is attached to that. 3,000, 2,000, 500, 800, like this, not more expensive ones. So your students can take those courses and add on. This is one part. You don't have to depend on your university, your college, and none of them. You motivate your students and you can get it done. Secondly, you talked about starting of the MCA program. It certainly requires approval of the AICTE. If you have applied and if you have the wherewithal in terms of number of classrooms, faculty, etc., it will be approved. And secondly, if you don't have teachers, as you are saying, some of them don't want to increase their curriculum to the level of today's needs, and therefore they are outdated. In that case, it is your prerogative. Your university can sit together and revise the curriculum with the help of industry. And UGC and all agencies, government has allowed what is known as professors of practice. People who are in the industry, they may not have a master's or a PhD degree, but with a long experience, they are entitled to be taken as faculty members in a college or a university and teach. So you can go and contact organizations like Infosys, TCS, Wipro, in the domain of the fields which you are talking about, AI, machine learning, they will be very glad because they will all get their salaries from their companies. They will give their time for giving lectures to your students. Lastly, all the online programs that are available, MOOC platform which is available, SWAYAM platform which is available, you can make use of. There are hundreds of courses of this nature. Your students, by not paying even a single penny, can learn. But if they want credit or if they want to write exam and get a certificate, the fee is very, very small per course. About 1,000 to 1,500 is not a big deal when students are paying 40,000, 60,000, 1 lakh in the engineering colleges. Per course of 3 credit equivalent, 1,500 rupees is peanuts. Actually, many of them will be able to do it. So I think there are multiple ways in which knowing all the facilities provided by the government, you should first as a teacher know it and then transmit it to your students, thereby they get empowered.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'll have last two questions, one from, I think, Dr. Pushpendra and one from Harsha Deshmukh. So, Dr. Pushpendra, please.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And first of all, I want to express my thanks to all the team members to organize this wonderful program on today's a very special occasion. And first of all, before I ask my question, as participants, so much courses attend from your institution, and because this is a great opportunity to for me to share my views before my question. Because सर मैम, ये आपके संस्था के द्वारा भारत में जो हायर एजुकेशन के लिए आपके द्वारा जो बहुत बड़े सराहनीय कार्य किए जा रहे हैं, मैं उसके लिए सबसे पहले अपने हृदय से धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करना चाहूँगा कि आपके संस्था के द्वारा भारत में कोने कोने में हायर एजुकेशन से संबंधित अवेयरनेस और इस प्रकार के कार्यक्रमों को लेके और जो नए टीचर्स आ रहे हैं उनके जो एजुकेशन की क्वालिटी के अंदर जो उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन किस प्रकार से हो सकता है, उसमें किस प्रकार से वृद्धि हो सकती है, आपके संस्था के द्वारा ये बहुत ही सराहनीय कार्य किया जा रहा था। मैं इसके लिए तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूँगा। और दूसरा सर, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि एनईपी के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए लीगल एजुकेशन में किस प्रकार की चुनौतियां हैं, किस प्रकार के चैलेंजेस है, तो मैं सभी एक्सपर्ट से चाहूंगा कि मैं उनके व्यूज जानना चाहूंगा इस बारे में। थैंक यू सो मच।
I think basically, sir, his question is on the changes in the legal education.
No, if no one is answering, I will answer. Otherwise, I was keeping quiet, assuming that someone else will take the call.
Bakshi, sir, you're there?
Okay, madam, Vimal ji, मैं बताऊंगा कि national education policy has kept two domains of education outside the scope of the regulatory framework. But it doesn't talk about not being inclusive, not being part of the national education policy initiatives. So what all we said about multidisciplinarity, multiple exit entry, use of technology, multilingualism, that is also teaching of law in Indian languages, including now the Supreme Court is talking about giving judgments in all the languages, which are normally given in English. They are also going to be translated and provided to the people. Therefore, all the features, including rootedness in Indian values, all of that is as much valid for the program in law and medicine as much as in any other domain. But as far as the regulatory framework is concerned, the new act, which is likely to come very soon, is about what we call HECI, Higher Education Commission of India. Under that, regulation by the National Higher Education Regulatory Council should be kept away from legal and medical education, because they have specialized bodies called Bar Association of India. And similarly, in medical education, there is a National Medical Commission. They will take care of the regulatory body. Otherwise, all other features are as much relevant to law as much as to any other field. So law faculty have to sit together. They have to have their own meeting in the Senate Academic Council, how law can become relevant to today's needs of our citizens, how the practice of law can also be made in the Indian languages, not necessarily pleading only in English in the High Courts and Supreme Court, but also in our own language. These are reforms which they are required to undertake so that our citizen from a very rural area will not be handicapped in communicating what is his challenge and problem and understand the actual judgment which is given. They are all going to be facilitating for him or her.
Thank you so much, sir. I think
Thank you so much.
So I'll just add that in teaching, learning, assessment, whatever we are talking about, even in the introduction of ICT, how does it matter whether you are teaching law or chemistry or physics? All these tools can be used there as well. So that's common. And I think if no, we have already conducted some events where we have only talk about some methods and practices, teaching, learning, and assessments for the legal domain as well. And last question, I'll request Dr. Harsha Deshmukh, and sorry, those who have raised hands later on, we will stick to our time. So Dr. Harsha Deshmukh, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Professor Harsha Deshmukh from KC's College of Engineering and Management, Jalgaon, Maharashtra. And I would like to mention here that we are already the partner with GAD-TLC, and we have conducted 2 faculty development programs on teaching, learning process and ICT tools under the guidance of Vimal ma'am and Bakshi sir. So my question is that our college is situated in Jalgaon city, that is a district place, but not a metro city like Pune or Mumbai. And we are running MBA course where 2 months internship is mandatory for the students. As we already discussed, you discussed in your session that internship is very important and face-to-face and physical touch is very important. But the problem we are facing here in Jalgaon that companies are not in position to offer internship to the students. They are ready to give ready-made certificates to the students, but they are not hiring the students for internships. So how can we solve this problem? Whether we can do the mandatory for the companies, I think there should be mandatory obligations on the companies from the university itself so that they can take the students for internship. Is it possible, sir, to do?
No, Harsha, this has been already mandated by AICTE. Unfortunately, if some people say without giving training, we will only give certificate, it is not in the interest of neither the college nor the student.
Yes,
you
sir.
should ask the counter question to the company. If you get a student who has got a certificate, but he doesn't understand, doesn't know anything about it, will you recruit him? Will you appoint him? They will certainly say no. So that means it is essential. That is why it has been made mandatory. So why can't you only not give certificate, but actually make them work in the organization and then give the certificates? And for that, if your town, if it has less industries, you must bank upon the portal, which is AICTE's portal. For it is essentially meant for tier 2, tier 3 towns and cities, because in bigger cities like Pune, Mumbai, or in Delhi or Hyderabad, or in Chennai or in Bangalore, there are large number of industries. So colleges of that will certainly get some opportunity or other. People who are in the towns which are in the middle of the state, somewhere away from the capital or metros, this portal is essentially meant for them. And there are huge opportunities, not only in the government, but also in the private, even in the startups. So internship not necessarily means one has to go to a big company like Tata Motors or Maruti Udyog. That's fine. If you get there, it's fine. But even a small startup in Akola or in the place where you are residing is also good enough. In Jalgaon, I know there are a lot of those pipe factories, right?
Yes, sir.
So you are well known for that. So water pipelines and different types of cables, all of that is manufactured
Jain,
in
Supreme.
Jalgaon.
Yes.
Sprinkling system. So students can do internship there also. They have to know the processes that are followed in industry in terms of how do you deal with the customer, how do you do manufacturing, how do you do testing of quality. I think that is what they have to learn from internships.
Yes, sir. We are actually trying to interact with the industries, like you are saying that pipe industries, but they are not actually listening. Means they are not in position to collaborate
Because,
or
madam,
to take the students.
you have to go 10 times. Sometimes
Yes.
छोड़ना नहीं है, पीछे पड़ जाना है, तभी वो हो जाएगा. ठीक है?
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It's my privilege to interact with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for all the queries. Some concluding remarks, sir. I think Professor Bakshi, sir, you'd like to give, and then we.
Yes, nothing much to say except that it was a really very enlightening session, especially by Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, sir. And it was indeed a great pleasure knowing you, meeting. Of course, we have met in a number of meetings, but it was very nice interacting with you. And I'm very sure that all the participants who have joined from all over the country, they must have benefited a great deal from the interactions and the deliberations of the speakers. And now we look forward to their very active participation in our Malviya Mission Teacher Training Center's activities, which are going to start very soon. And as Vimal pointed out, the first program is going to start from 14th of November.
13th
So
November.
we look for, pardon?
13th November, Monday.
13th November, Monday. And so we look forward to your support as usual, as it was earlier in GAD-TLC. And I'm very sure that one of the reasons why we have been able to do so well was that we really care for quality. We want the best lectures to be delivered. We try to get the best resource persons for the various themes. And then one more thing which I would like to say, we would like to have more resource person in the months to come, and all those who are keen to deliver talks on the various 8 themes which are there in the program. I think Vimal, you are going to talk about that. So please do mention it. It would always, because everybody starts fresh. So if somebody is very keen to be a resource person in our programs, he or she should apply the field of expertise, your experience, and I'm sure we too are also looking for that. And you will then become a part of our team who can, conduct various programs. And now these programs have to continue. At least for the next 3 years, we are going to have these programs. And each center is, if I'm not mistaken, I think each center has to conduct about 36 programs in a year. So that is per year, which includes faculty induction, faculty development, short programs, then NEP programs, etc. So we look forward to your active support. And I once again thank Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe for taking their precious time. I know you were traveling yesterday, sir, but still you found time on Sunday, and you were a part of this important webinar, not only a part, but a very active, participant who could answer all the questions the various participants had. And then we heard a lot about you regarding your NEP deliberations, what all it covers. So it was really a great learning experience for all of us. Thank you very much once again, sir, to you. And we look forward to your continuous support in the years to come. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So some concluding remarks, Professor Sahasrabudhe, sir, if you like to give.
I think it was very invigorating to not only listen to Professor Bakshi and Professor Vimal yourself. Your thoughts on especially examination system is very, very important. That prompts a student to start learning more. When the whole course, whole semester has gone through, they have learned something. But when they see a question which they were not able to answer in the exam, that will create more inquisitiveness in the minds of the students. I think, therefore, examination reforms are the most significant in the teaching learning process. That will improve ours also. What students have not understood, we realize from the examination evaluation. So for teachers as well as students, And so I think it was very invigorating in terms of the type of questions which were asked. Some of them very trickish, of course, as usual, but we have to navigate through. We have big challenges, but we are committed. If we are committed and we follow our ethos, I'm sure there are solutions to all the problems. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. And this is the feedback form. Please, those who require certification, it is important. I have asked some questions also, which were put up as in the discourse today. So please answer all these, and the link will be open only by the next 1 hour, and the certification will be provided only to those who will be answering. And please join our GAD-TLC Telegram link. It's the same Telegram link, but those who are not there, please join so that you can get the updates. We also have our Facebook channel of GAD-TLC. And this is, again, I'm sharing those who want to be associated and partnering with us in this massive mission that we have been bestowed upon. And I'm so thankful to Ministry of Education and University Grants Commission for giving us this very big opportunity, which we will put our best. And I'm saying it on behalf of the entire Khalsa College, the management, and I look forward to the support by each of them and all the esteemed team members, right from Professor Ved Prakash sir, Professor Bakshi sir, Professor Jaswinder sir, Professor Surinder Kaur, and all others, Professor Sarita Pasi, Professor Arun Julka, to name a few, who have been very active with us. And now I will request all of you to be please standing in the honor of the national anthem.
Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Vindhya
Thank you all.
So thank you each and every colleague who has joined, and please take this mission further. It should just not be a webinar. We look forward for your active participation in our programs, and we should have the house full as usual. And thanks once again, Professor Budde sir, Professor Bakshi sir. So thank you everyone, and wish you the very happy of the festive season going around in a very culturally diverse, rich country of ours. So enjoy this with your family. And yes, but don't miss any of our programs. We are there to co-learn together. So with these words, thank you everyone. Namaskar.
Yeah, namaskar. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.